Good evening and welcome to this special council meeting being held on the 8th of October 2024. Please stand for the acknowledgements. We acknowledge the land we meet on today is the traditional land of the Kaurna people and that we respect their spiritual relationship with their country. We also acknowledge the Kaurna people as the custodians of the Adelaide region and that their cultural and heritage beliefs are still important to the Kaurna people today. On behalf of the City of Burnside, I gratefully acknowledge and pay respect to those who gave their lives for this country and its people, and we particularly consider the conflict that is happening at the moment in the Middle East and in Ukraine. I want to say Kiev. It's more than just there. And we seek understanding and guidance in our debate as we make decisions that will impact on the lives of all who reside, study, work in, and visit the City of Burnside. Grant us wisdom as we serve our community. Please be seated. I just need to remind you all about using the microphone. There is some concern that some people potentially can't hear very well because some people, when they talk, turn to the side or talk up here. The microphone's quite sensitive, so if I just make sure that you are, even though it looks like you should be wanting to turn towards the chair or whoever is speaking, or has moved the motion, make sure you are always facing forward and using your microphone so everyone can hear equally. There are a number of absences tonight. I'll read them through. Councillor Henschke, Councillor Turnbull, Councillor Hubel, Councillor Zing and Councillor Harvey. And I also want to take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Martin Cooper to those at home particularly because Mr. Cooper is our acting CEO. I'd like to welcome him to his first meeting officially in that capacity. So is there anything you wanted to add? We have a quorum, I think, now, so.
We do have the quorum, so that was going to be my opening spiel, but as we're all okay on that front, no, I'll shut up and we'll carry on. Thank you.
So we have only one item of business, declaration of interest. Is there anyone who has a conflict of interest over the matters that we're dealing with tonight? The answer is no. So we'll move straight into the business Glenside Urban Corridor Living Code Amendment. And I seek a mover. Councillor Cornish.
I'm very happy to move the officer's recommendation, and I would like to thank the administration for extraordinarily thorough response to the state government regarding this potential 26 level building. So I appreciate every word that was written. I did go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Yes, and I appreciate every word. Thank you.
Most definitely. I appreciate the work that the staff have done in this particular area, particularly seeing it's in Councillor Jennings and my ward. It is an atrocious development. It is crowding out our heritage precinct. It is, I would say, crowding in the mental health facilities that are already on this site, and residents are very angry about this development that is going to alter their lifestyle that they hoped they could have when they bought into this development. So thank you very much to the staff, and I'm happy to support Councillor Cornish's motion.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? I took that as a motion that we would discuss. Councillor Davey.
Thank you, Mayor. I endorse everything that's already been said. I think it's an excellent report, and I thank the staff for all the work that they've put into it. It highlights the changes that are proposed by Cedar Woods in this application, and I also note the considerable feedback from the interested and concerned community members who have identified a whole range of issues, and I'll just highlight a few of them. Particularly is the height of the proposal. 20 levels is just a whole new concept for the eastern suburbs and this site and our area. The fact that there might be there's the potential for multiple buildings of up to 20 levels in height. There's concern that about the inequity that people who've already purchased apartments on the basis of an 8-level development at that location are now confronted with a possible 20-level development. The big concern for us, which has been raised by the community too, is the pressure on infrastructure, including local schools, open space, the tree canopy, car parking, water, sewerage, and the huge evidence which we're experiencing already of the traffic congestion in that whole area, and particularly on Fullerton Road. Insufficient existing car parking, which will be really exacerbated by a 20-level apartment and all the construction work associated with that. The impact of tower buildings on the existing character and amenity of the site. Shadowing of existing buildings and incompatibility with nearby heritage buildings. So all in all, I think this is an excellent summary of what we're concerned about, and I hope this is seriously considered and taken note of. Thank you.
Councillor Dawes.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things. I know there are 5 apologies tonight, but I just want to make sure the community is aware that this is a whole of council response. Some of our councillors are on leave, work commitments and so forth. So please do not consider that it's only a few of us that are against this development. The whole council is. I just want to make that point, first of all, very, very strongly. The other thing, there were so many parts to this, and I thank Councillor Davey for raising them. I'm just looking for a response from through the CEO, from the staff, because, you know, I get so many, not so calls, but so many emails about this development. Which would you regard as, I don't know, 5 or 6? What are the 5 or 6 strongest points that, you know, that we should be raising with our local politicians or whatever? I know there are 20 odd there, but I think that Councillor Davey did hit the nail on the head on a number of them, but I'm just looking for the staff's response through you, Acting CEO.
Thank you. Through the Mayor. Mr Schroeder, if you wouldn't mind taking that, please.
Thank you. Through the Mayor. I guess the best place to look at would be page 3 of the submission, when it outlines, I guess, the key headings of our concerns. So inconsistency with the strategic and zone policies that stands at the moment, visual character and amenity impacts of the increased height, bulk and scale, impacts on infrastructure and services, various development assessment issues, and the ability of the code to actually withstand future changes of ownership.
Could I ask a question of the mover and seconder? I'm wondering if it would be also worthwhile sending a copy of this to the Premier. He seems to be able to get 5 concerts for Katy Perry, so I'm wondering if he might have the same power to bring about change in this development, even if it's to just alert him to our concerns. So I'm just wondering if you would be willing to allow that to be added to the motion or to the letter.
I would agree with that, and I'd also like a copy to send to our local member, Jack Batty.
No, that's on here.
Oh, is it already on?
If you look at the very back of the letter,
Okay.
it's there.
You've got
Councillor
the lot.
Cornish?
Thank you very much.
Sorry. Have you finished? Sorry.
Yes, I have. Thank you.
Happy to also add the Premier. I don't know how much good it will do, but I'm happy to send it broad and wide.
Thank you. I think there are a number of other areas around the City of Adelaide who are potentially going to be impacted by this, and I think it is worthwhile, since we're the first ones to actually be faced with this, to hit the Premier with it as well. So thank you for that. Councillor Jennings.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. While we're carbon copying people into this, could we also send a copy to the Minister of Transport, the Honourable Ton Coutson-Tonis? On the weekend, my partner is an emergency service worker, and if she is working at the ENRA, she can't catch a bus to start work at 7 o'clock. What are they doing, building 20 stories of housing when they haven't got the infrastructure to even look after it? They're saying people aren't going to drive cars because they're just on the edge of the city. But bikes aren't for everyone. Walking home from a shift at 11 o'clock at night down a dark road is not for everyone. It's not safe. This has been ill thought out, and I think they're actually making a mockery of us. Thank you.
Are you asking for the mover and seconder to add that name to the list? So, Councillor Cornish?
I said broad and wide.
All right, broad and wide, all right, thank you. So we'll add Tom Coutson-Tonis. Well, I think we've already got Jack Batty, James Stevens, and there are also copies going to the City of Unley and Adelaide as well. Okay. I haven't anyone else on my screen. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Councillor Hallett or Councillor Jones? Any questions from anyone? All right, then I shall go back to Councillor Cornish.
I think everyone is going to be supportive of this, so I don't really need to sell it as much, but I do think that it is a travesty that it's actually come up. I don't know where it's actually come from. The 8 stories itself originally was with the potential that it could go up to, I think it was 12. That's still high, too high. Like, Air Apartments is only 14, so it's still a rather large build in this residential area where the maximum height at the moment is a water tower. So I'm still staggered at the request and the flow-on effects that will happen. This 26 stories. I work in an 18-story building in the city, and it is huge. And this is a potentially 26-story building right in the suburbs, blocking the sight lines to the hills and to the city from the hills. It's huge. And I thank the administration for putting this letter together and all the external parties that may have helped as well put it together, especially that diagram of the different height levels. I think that really shows the massive difference that this potentially does, and the fact that there are 3 buildings that are potentially going to go in there at large heights, it's incongruous, as I read, I hope you all support this motion and back it fully, that we're against this, but I would like to say that I think it was very smart of the administration to put the fallback in of like, well, if you do these are the issues that you do also need to worry about, because there are some significant issues as well that go along with doing something like that. So very well done. Let's support this, and yeah, let's see how we go.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Carried. I know we don't normally put down unanimously, but I say it. And okay, division's been called. So all those who support the motion, please stand. No, you have to stand again. You changed the rules. So it is Councillor Dawes, Wilkins, Jennings, Jones, Davey, Hallett, Cornish, and I know I don't have a vote, but the Mayor is definitely supportive. Thank you. Can I also add that we have here tonight a representative from the Glenside protest group, and they've got over 3,000 signatures, I believe, to their petition. It's probably grown since then. So we are not acting alone in this. We have a very strong community support for this, to oppose this project. And I know that all of us have had letters, emails. I've still got one even just yesterday, really complaining about the scope and some of the issues that have already been covered tonight. So again, I'd like to thank the staff for a very, very intense report with a lot of technical detail, which will be interesting to see how they try to fob it off. So thank you. And I will declare this meeting over or close at 5:22 p.m. And thank you for all of you for your attendance. Did I say 5:22? Yeah, that's right.